first time, I think, really, in HGC China for SPT.
Yeah, SPT, they have lost in tournaments in 2017 versus CE, like separate non-HGC tournaments. But that's still kind of crazy if that was to happen again. And especially in an actual official HGC tournament where they are playing over a long period of time. So KT taking us to the Infernal Shrines. I'm not sure how I feel about this. Might have preferred maybe a Tomb.
Yeah, Tomb could have been nice. I totally agree with you. However, on Infernal Shrines, I think they can still play to their strengths. They could still play a Diablo style if they wanted to, because the shrine areas are equipped with a lot of walls and choke points that you can capitalize on. And looks like the Genji from Meng was so fearsome yesterday that they're gladly going to ban that once more.
Easy Hanzo pickup though. Second that's left available. The one very sneaky draft, removing an assassin this time to give themselves exactly what they want, because they know what's going to be banned out. So with that Genji gone, what are we going to see? Are we going to see once again the prioritization onto Garrosh? Are we going to see perhaps a Sonya? She's very popular on this map in general.
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't hate it. Even a Varian could happen again. Varian, of course, has a little bit of a special thing going for him on Infernal Shrines. He could go for the Victory Rush, which is a talent level 7 that allows him to heal himself quite handsomely. And the cooldown of that talent will get reduced drastically now by all the monsters on the Infernal Shrine standing near him. So you would have a steady income of self-sustain. And Varian, in general, in China is seeing a lot more play. What about the Open Division yesterday, Tetcher, during the playoffs? Was Varian a factor there at all, or was he...
Yeah,
largely
he popped in and out about as often as, let's say, an Uther or something like that. He definitely showed up.
And did he deliver, or was he more of a disappointment?
It was a mixed bag. One of times he didn't do so well, and one time he was absolutely dominant. It's very much exactly what you'd expect to see from what I personally consider to now be a fairly balanced hero, maybe with an odd number tweak here or there.
Yeah. I mean, if you ask me, I'll tell you the truth. I think there's always a little room left for a cheeky little buff on Varian, so Blizzard, please consider.
If we're going to have any kind of number nerfs, I think number changes they should be down for the current Variant. Because he's already sticky enough, and his other abilities are potentially nerfed. So, I don't know, perhaps you got to make him either less sticky or buff the other talents in some way, and that would make him just an insta-pick.
I was going to say, if you take something away, then you better make sure that you give something in return, right? Because now, the Assassin builds on Varian, the Colossal Smash, and the Twin Blades, they are in not the best of spots, because the scaling changes definitely hurt him quite a bit. You know, you see a lot of, or a lot is an overstatement, but you see quite a bit of Colossus or Twin Blades coming up in Hero League every now and then. In fact, I played one game against a Twin Blade Variant on BOE the other day. Shoutouts go to Thief, a very good player that I quite respect a lot, and he made it work. He made the Twin Blade work on BOE, to my misfortune. So, but yeah, I still think the Assassin builds need a little bit of love and care.
ETC banned out, very solid. The one have been using it quite sneakily, and the thing is they already have Garrosh. They're potentially trying to either force the Diablo or try to sneak away the Diablo themselves and lower the options of the one to, say, Arthas or Muradin or Johanna, something in those lines. Johanna and Sonya, especially, two tanks that don't work well together, so she begins to drop a little bit further down there. Arthas, with Tychus banned out, becomes a little bit more feasible.
Yeah, I think this Tychus ban is definitely an interesting one to talk about, right? On the one hand, you may ask yourselves, guys, why would you ban Tychus? If there's a Garrosh in the team, they could have actually picked it up themselves, but they are actually afraid of KT picking it themselves because of a potential warrior pick that they might want to go for. Arthas, very susceptible to that. Diablo could be very susceptible to a Tychus as well. So removing the Tychus, still being quite confident in their tank shredding capabilities with a Hanzo, maybe with a Malthael or a Leoric. There is a plan behind it, but here goes the Diablo Garrosh. They're not going to ask twice about it. No percentage damage from Tychus. And here goes what could be... That is a scary voice file. Am I just imagining things?
No, it's still happening.
Okay.
Yeah, that's still happening. Hopefully we're about to be saved by whatever is picked next. Lunara! Oh my god.
All right. Lunara. It's been a while since we last saw the deer.
Yeah, bringing out Lunara here, the Dryad to. She was been a classic counter versus Uther for a very long time now, but she's dropped off so much recently. But look at the front line; it's so tanky. She's been given just absolute freedom on the map, assuming that there's not much dive picks by the one, which might have to result in a leap pick.
Yeah, and ever since Uther has fallen off a little bit, a support that could potentially struggle against the Lunara, the AoE poison damage she provides, and the overall elusiveness that makes it so hard for him to catch her, you know, all of a sudden Lunara comes back into the fray. It used to be a go-to site every single time in late 2017 when we had this high contestant on Uther. So there could even be, if they really want to make Uther's life a miserable one, they could even top it off with a Gul'dan, then assembling the two greatest counters to the melee support. And here goes the Arthas. As we said, this was the hero that they were so afraid of the enemies picking Tychus. And Cassia into Lunara Tetcher. That is a bold move here right now by the one.
It's bold, not just due to the fact that you need to get to the Lunara, the blinds could in theory work there, but also bold due to the fact that you need to get past that front line. Garrosh and Diablo, you're going to have issues. That is because Cassia has a very low auto attack range.
Yeah, exactly. I don't really agree with this pick on Cassia. I think China, for the most part, still relies too heavily on Cassia. It has been punished multiple times at the Eastern Clash by Korean teams. And now not only does she have to face two tanky warriors without any percentage damage up to level 20, and then she also has to struggle with the poison damage that doesn't get affected by her physical armor while she keeps on moving. The trait, it only applies to physical damage. So Lunara could potentially have a really easy time dealing and kiting the Cassia, whose range is also very low compared to long distance poke by Lunara. And they actually go for Malthael as well. Even more damage over time, AoE damage over time potentially. And I'm a little bit concerned for the ones drafting here. I think they will have to win this game, not by picking the better heroes, but by outmaneuvering and by outperforming them individually.
I'm a bit less the fan of the Malthael, but it does give them solo lane capabilities they didn't have before. Yeah. I was potentially leaning towards just go absolute classic here and bring out some kind of mage.
Yeah, probably the Gul'dan I would love to see.
Yeah, Gul'dan, not percentage damage, more damage over time. Even Kael'thas, just to siege the objective, could have been pretty reasonable. Jaina, you know that kite, we've all seen how well that can kite the Arthas once again.
Yeah.
I don't know, those are what I've lent towards, but Malthael can work, but it's taking a situation where you want your damage dealers to not be in range of the damage dealers of the one, and you're giving them one in range. But he's going to be in range by jumping directly onto your backline with probably the Tormented Souls. So going to be interesting to see if he can make it work.
Yeah, Tormented Souls is a great tool to deal with Arthas as well. We mentioned that yesterday already, when he's able to just leech more HP from all the ghouls that are wandering near him. The AoE sustain could be pretty crazy. And then, of course, he has access, Malthael that is, to a talent called Touch of Death, right? At level 7. We actually saw that yesterday, how you can shut down big, chunky heals like the Ancestor Healing from Rhaegar if it is timed well. And even Uther, who is a very spiky support, you know, with long cooldowns but massive burst healing, he will get punished quite heavily if Touch of Death is used timely. For now, though, ladies and gentlemen, give it up one more time for the one with Hugo on the Sonya. Lucky is, of course, on that Hanzo. Meng plays the Cassia again. ZJZ on the Uther. And Hehe on the main tank on Arthas.
And on the right-hand side, it's KT with Hope on Lunara, Kaito on Garrosh, TWT on the Malfurion, Lycia on the Malthael, and Zizm is playing the Diablo.
So it is not Kaito on the Diablo this time. It looks like he has passed on his knowledge to his young apprentice, Zizm, who no longer will play an assassin. They did a little bit of a role swap there as well. Really cool to see how flexible many Chinese teams are, right? CE did it multiple times. SBT did it yesterday as well when Soap was the melee assassin. And Melody C, who normally likes to pick those heroes, he was going on the Blaze. So China definitely not a stale and predictable region in terms of how teams are willing to swap rotations.
Cassia again looking to get more stuck in here, going for those charge strikes, not going for that Q-based build that can give you a little bit more kiting potential and a little bit more poking potential, which against Malfurion, it's not the easiest thing to do in the world. Also, just clutch knowledge here by Lycia to take such a long way around, easily avoiding any kind of gank by the one.
Yeah, and that really shows all the map awareness and all the game sense that Lycia has as an absolute veteran in the league, right? He realized the one would probably go for an early gank like they did before in Cursed Hollow, so he went the super safe route, not checking any obvious bushes, not face checking them, and instead making it to lane safety. Even if you arrive a little later, that's sometimes, or most certainly always better than to get caught in the meantime. Speaking of getting caught.
Jinx as Kaito getting focused down, getting the knock up though, easily able to pull back. Surprises them as they turn around looking for Meng here. Lunara taking that damage, but Kaito also dropping low. Mafia, very nice moonfire there, and he's dropping down. Diablo already down. It's going to be a tank for a tank.
Wait a minute.
Lucky though, tucked in. Lucky will die to towers.
Oh, Lucky is quite the opposite of Lucky in that moment here. He was flung into tower range, and then with the combined efforts of the structures and the members of KT, Hanzo was blown to pieces. So already a strong retaliation move by KT, and their strong draft, the strong rotations here with Lunara and Garrosh, it really goes to show how well Acacia can be punished, and any overstepping by the one will be, capitalized on mercilessly from KT.
And as such, KT, Malthael has been grabbing them a fair amount of XP up in this top lane. You can see he's pushed up the lane, but Arthas is now here. He's leaving the lane, actually, so a couple of those minions will actually die on the tower before Sonya arrives. As we see the rotations continuing, the one grabbing their own Khazra camp, which is not exactly timed, but timed enough that it will meet up with KT's and clear it. As we see it once again, Arthas, the one getting caught. Uther with the heals, though, and the armor, but that can't stop Lycia with percentage damage.
Yeah, and you could really see that there was nothing Arthas could do. Arthas doesn't have a flashy escape mechanism, right? He doesn't have the power slide. He doesn't have a dwarf toss. There's not really much he can do once he gets locked down by both Garrosh and Diablo. So the only way for the one to win a team fight after this happens is by keeping him alive for as long as possible. After level 10, that will be certainly a little bit easier with a Divine Shield. But until then, positioning and knowing how to position yourself against that heavy aggression from the front line of KT is going to be key.
Kaito moving forward, finds an Arthas. Arthas is thrown in, Root is down, Lunara once again moves to position, Malthael easily in position, Diablo is set up, and Hihi, even with the heals from Uther, survives such a long time but does go down every time, as Meng also finds himself in trouble. Lucky coming in, not even in range to help here, and Meng will die to the poison.
And this Lunara pick is right now doing a lot of work, Tetra. It's exactly the way KT had planned to fight. The poison damage from both Lunara and the Malthael proving to be too much for Arthas to handle. And then on top of it, of course, the Cassia, once she steps closer to the enemy team, she will get punished quite a lot. And right now, it is just not the game for ZJZ on that Uther. Not really because he's a bad player or having a bad day, but mostly because his pick was countered on multiple fronts. Uther is strong when it comes to dealing with burst protection, right? When it comes to enable a melee assassin like Genji to go deep into the enemy lines. What he's not good against, though, is healing multiple targets over and over again. That's why Stukov and Malfurion are so good in the current meta, and that's why KT was going for the Malthael and the Lunara to really punish what the one had showed them early on in the draft.
Good route by Arthas, pulling the Punisher over though, but the towers will fall here. KT focusing that down without too much difficulty. So they will just grab the two towers here, giving themselves almost a full, in fact, over a full level lead here. They're looking much stronger in this game than the first one.
And this is exactly the KT we wanted to see here, by the way. Kaito, you need to get your clan tag right. That lowercase t is triggering me ever so slightly. Get good.
Yeah, I can see it. It's like in Open Division, there is a member of Team Gradit Gaming who has the Gangang tag. So it's TGG instead of GG, as we see Malthael easily get rotated on. A nice invade onto the camp. But Kaito rotating in here, thinking he can steal the camp back, but he's on his own. Bad plan.
Yeah, of course, that was a nice move there. Actually, Kaito was trying to maybe stall them out and buy a little bit more time before that camp got taken, but he was stunned by Uther in time, preventing him from stepping onto the platform. But wait a minute, Hugo actually flung into the structures, but guess what? Reinforcements have arrived for the one, and they are coming back, Tetcher, after being behind more than a level. They are now all of a sudden the ones in the driver's seat. However, they need to be very careful. The fort is now shooting at them. Never mind, minions have arrived. Minions to the rescue, but they still need to not overstay their welcome.
Yeah, KT also brought the reinforcements, but they don't get the kill. That's the point. They only were able to save their fort there. And what this has resulted in is TheOne evening up the XP. And this is a huge deal when it comes to keeping themselves in this game and preparing for the next objective.
KT once again arriving just a little bit too late here. Here comes the Roots though as a follow-up to the toss. ZJZ is lost and gone. His teammates aren't even trying to save him because they realize Uther is going to sacrifice himself for the greater good, allowing his teammates to run away to safety. So, yeah, KT, you know, they are here to stay. They're not willing to let the series slip through 2-0. And if they maintain their focus, if they don't get greedy now like they did in top lane for a short period of time, they can actually take away this series, this game. Sorry, I think they have what it takes.
I believe so as well. They are winning me over very much so. They kind of do have what it takes, assuming they can just keep control here. But here's where it can come down to it. Level 10 about to be hit for both teams. Next shrine still not even active yet, but once that happens, that's probably where we're going to see the action here. So we're seeing Tranquility, Dragon Arrow, no more Dragon Strikes today.
Oh, the lightning breath though! Did you see it?
Oh my god, yeah, now I do.
Oh,
okay.
that is quite something. I'm trying to...
It's damage over time.
It's damage over time, you're definitely right. It doesn't really have a setup though, right? There's no Entomb, there's no Warden's Cage.
I mean, there's the Garrosh Warlord's Challenge.
Maybe.
Wow, either way, it's AoE damage on multiple members, which Uther struggles with. We have Thornwood Vine as well, we have Tormented Souls. The entire battlefield is going to be AoE damage here, and this could be exactly what KT needs, or this could be one of the dumbest decisions that absolutely puts them in a rough fight scenario.
Yeah, Apocalypse, of course, it's so hard to imagine a teamfight without it if you have a Diablo in your team. For now, though, the Unstoppable comes in for Garrett. He's chased heavily, but so is Arthas. The stuns are good. No saving tools available. The Tranquility way too late, but here goes the Lightning Breath.
Does a lot of damage, but he tanking through it this time. He's lost all his undead minions, actually. That's kind of a good value for the Lightning Breath. I can see that. Yeah. As we see the beginning to move around, but without Garrosh, that pick off on him so early has really given the one positioning, but what hasn't is the amount of damage Lunara is still doing to them.
Yeah, look at the health bars. They're dwindling and shrinking for the one because Uther can keep up with the sustain against all that Malthael and Lunara damage. In the meantime, we saw the blue mercenary camp in the top lane getting structural value. Sism has had enough. He's going in with the Diablo. He's a tanky demon. But is it going to be enough here? The strong heals from Malthael keep him alive for now. Once again, he gets a tick, and here comes Malthael. Here goes all the doom and disaster he brings onto his foes.
This is the opposite of the current meta. Malthael and Lunara killing off everyone on the enemy team here as Meng finally goes down. The meta up to now has been all about burst, but this is the if we go for like that movie, I'm trying to think of a movie example where everything sort of just happens at once. If we go for like Die Hard as a movie for what the meta is currently like, this game is like the slow death of an extremely inefficient weapon, or whatever that film's called, as we see Meng getting taken out by Lycia. He does actually get him in the end. The sustain from Uther Ghost does keep them alive for quite a while.
Yeah, the Uther Spirit was trying to pump out those heals right into Cassia, but it was not enough. The Lunara and even the Malfurion dealing too much damage here. Here goes Arthas, though. They're not letting go. The ability used much more timely now. Can hope to be kept alive here. All that needs to be done is landing the Moonfire, but he has to use the Ice Block, and as such, no more healing available. The Punisher, in the meantime, moves on. Zizim uses the Shadow Charge to escape.
Yeah, the Punisher has moved on to the keep wall before it even kills off the fort. KT is completely alone here. Malthael can't even get to him. Wraps around the fort, takes the tower shots. Very sensible, doesn't get himself slowed. Misses the stun, though. That's a pretty bad scenario for him to be in. Scatter Arrow hits. Holy Radiance hits, but he's still alive. Getting max armor, gets the stun, but finally finished off by a Hammer of Justice.
All right, so the onslaught was halted here for the one, but as Tetris said, the Punisher in the meantime took down the entire second wall before even dealing with the fort here. So still structural value to be obtained by KT, but they also lost a lot of members, giving a lot of experience to the one. We're now dead even in experience. So the next few team fights, I think, are going to prove to be crucial here. Hugo taking away the Impalers as well. The map is painted blue at the moment for the most part, so KT, they're going to have to recover. They're going to have to find themselves again.
And you can see they're certainly trying to do so, burning through as many abilities as they can to get these lanes cleared, take out the mercenaries, give themselves more freedom. But the one, they seem to just drop back so many times, but they always come back with a couple kills.
All right, this all of a sudden turns into, or has turned into quite the game here. 10 kills to 9. We almost hit our China average goal of 20 kills per game, Tetra, so we couldn't ask for more. Now, Zizamon the Diablo, though, he's going to have to spend a lot of time farming back his soulstones, right? He was taken down earlier, he had 100 in the bank, and as such, he's now a much tinier, a much less threatening Diablo.
Interesting talents to point out here. Unfair advantage for Lunara. Makes a lot of sense. Lots of slows coming in from the team, especially from Garrosh here. Lots of CC in general. We also are going to have from Cassia the Surge there. I think it's Lightning Surge. Not 100% sure. It's not exactly a common talent. But it basically increases her fend duration. Lurging Strike. Wow, I got that completely mixed up.
Yeah.
But she's able to increase the area and duration of her fend. This may seem kind of silly, but it's actually kind of brilliant to me, where you can see the blind drop down, and she's going to have a lot more time worth of healing thanks to that Ring of Leech, which is exactly what she needs against this heavy dot style.
So yeah, I think the increased healing from Ring of the Leech at level 4 is probably the main reason why she wants to go for that talent here, so she can kind of self-sustain her through a little more against all that damage over time from Lunara and Malthael. So whether that's going to be a successful endeavor remains to be seen. It also causes her to spend more time lunging and piercing in general, which then makes her an easier target even for Garrosh or Diablo. So Meng is definitely going to have to think twice about how he wants to position himself in those future team fights. For now, though, mercenary camps are taken for the one. The Fallen Shaman is going to make his way through top lane. However, the fort has already fallen, right? So it should be an easy endeavor for KT to clear this, especially with the shrine located at the top half of the map this time.
Martial law finally in effect, and as such, the tanks days, who are already suffering a little bit, especially Diablo, now that he is not on full souls, are going to be a lot more difficult.
Look at Hihi.
Interesting solo wraparound. Finally, his team is joining him, but I'm sure Kaito will spot at least one of these, right? He'll definitely see Meng.
Yeah, Kaito, of course, is scouting. So is the Wisp as well. But Hihi, I think, was still unseen. This is one of the coolest flanks, potentially, through the course of the game. Hihi, when is he going to pull the trigger? Look at Kaito. He's still not suspecting to come for the enemy warrior to come all the way from behind. So TWT is going to be the first target to spot the Arthas. And now the ranks of KT are full disarray.
Dragon Arrow on Lunara keeps her isolated, taking a huge amount of damage. Lycia getting huge healing, though. Fast Tormented Soul is still taken out. The Lightning Breath getting so many members. Lunara still alive, currently just 1v1ing Lucky, which means she's not getting full effectiveness with all of her AoE damage. And as such, with that distraction, the one take the fight.
Yeah, that was such a cool flanking move by Hihi and the One in general. They were causing mayhem and confusion in the ranks of KT. You could really see the moment Arthur showed up, they weren't really aware of what they were supposed to do. All of a sudden, Malthael was the main frontliner because Diablo charged all the way back. The Lightning Breath getting strong damage value, and it was so unfortunate for Hope as well, who had done such a good job bullying Lucky single-handedly. But then Lucky's about to die, and here goes Uther in his Holy Spirit form. He kept everyone alive, most importantly, of course, Hanzo, and the team fight from there on just went south for KT.
This was a noble sacrifice by Hanzo here, absolutely just forcing himself into Lunara. He knows he can't win that fight straight up. Lunara is too mobile. She's got too much damage at this stage in the game. The slows are too good. But as long as he has her away from the rest of his team, she's not going to get Splinter Spear value. She's not going to get Thornwood Vine value. And that could have been the defining factor in the game. The best way to deal with Lunara, just make it so that she is only fighting one person.
Couldn't have said it better myself. That was exactly the case here. If Lunara had stayed in the major or in the main, on the main front, she could have delivered more AoE damage, maybe more poison damage that spread through the ranks of the one, and maybe that could have tipped the balance of power in their favor. For now, though, KT has a mighty Purple Punisher at their side. The Purple Peter is going to help them out here to take down the top keep, which is already exposed beforehand because of Fallen Shaman and pushing value. Now Hihi flung into the backline. Does he have the ghouls? Yes, he has, and they're going for the core right at the get-go.
Tormented Souls no longer available. Tranquility is trying to keep him alive. Lightning Breath zones away, but the core is going down, and this is the issue with damage over time. You don't kill him very quickly, and down goes the core. KT not able to kill off the members of the one in time, and the one take the 2-0.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, the one.